Hey folks, and welcome to the first installment of the Freedom in Music Project Beginner Guitar Course. It's a 6-week course. We're giving it here at the Presbyterian Church in Bunker Hill, West Virginia. My name's Joe, and I'll be teaching the course. So I thought we'd do some online courses so that if people aren't here, they can view the material online. And I'm going to post these every week for anybody that just wants to join in and learn the guitar. Now, we're using this book, Mel Bay's Guitar Method Grade 1. So if you want to follow along and you want to have the same material we're using, you may want to order this. I got this one on Amazon. You can get them in pretty much any music store that sells musical instruments. All right, so let's get started. So this is a beginner course for people that have never played the guitar before. So the first thing let's talk about the parts of the guitar. All right, this whole part here, this is the body of the guitar. This is the bridge right here. It's the bridge of the guitar. This is called the sound hole. All right. This is the neck. This is the headstock. This piece here, which is usually either white or black, this little piece is called the nut. These, which get your strings in tune, are called the tuning pegs. Okay? These, the metal pieces going across the neck, which most guitars have, are called frets. And the dots are fret markers. All right. And most guitars, some don't, but most of them have this. It's called a pick guard, and it's designed to protect your guitar. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about, we're going to talk a little bit about how to hold the guitar. Okay. You can see I'm wearing a strap, but you can put the guitar on your leg in the bout section, in the shoulder. All right. And then you basically want to hang your hand over if you're using a pick or if you're using fingerstyle like I do. And then your other hand, you want to place it here on the neck. Now, your fingers are numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you turn that around and you put your thumb on the back of the neck, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that makes it really easy. You can then say whatever notes happen on those frets, I'm going to let those. So first fret, note, it's going to be with the first finger. Second fret notes, second finger. Third fret notes, third finger. Fourth fret notes, fourth finger. Okay? Now, you can take a pick. You want to hold it in your hands like this. And generally, if you're going to play pick style, you want to let your hand hang loosely like this. See how I'm doing that? All right, and you're going to go down strokes, down. That's where you go over the top of the string and pluck down. And then there's up strokes where you come up with the pick. They have a little bit of a different sound, each of them. All right. Now, the next part that we're going to go over here in the course is tuning the guitar. So how do you tune the guitar and what are the strings? All right, this string, the thickest string, is an E. The next string is A, D, G, B, and E. And this is called standard tuning. All right, and that's the way most of the guitars are tuned, is in standard tuning. All right, so it's E, A, D, G, B, E. Now, with tuning, you can sit down at a piano and try to tune it that way and just use the note names, or you can use your own guitar to tune. So you would, on the E string, go up to the 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. That is an A. So the next string up is an A. So E string, 5th fret is A. So you would tune it to itself. You go onto the A string. You count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That note at the 5th fret is a D. And that's the next string up. And you tune it. The next string, you would do the same thing up to the 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the D string. And you get a G. All right? You just want to make sure that they're in tune. The next string, the G string's a little different. You count up to the 4th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you get a B. All right? Then you get to the B string and you count up to the 5th fret again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you get an E, which is your top string. Now, there's another thing you can get, and that's one of these. This is an electronic tuner. It attaches with a little clip right to your guitar. You turn it on, and you can tune with it, okay? And I would highly suggest using one of those. I mean, it's something we all have access to these days. All right, now, so you can see, hopefully you can see in this the staff. The staff is where music is written. It's called a staff, okay? And there are 5 lines and 4 spaces on the staff. And the 5 lines are named as follows. Starting at the bottom line, E, G, B, D, F. Now this is an old thing. I was taught this as a boy. You can remember this by saying, every good boy does fine. E, G, B, D, F. And then the spaces are letter names at the bottom to the top, or F, A, C, E. Spells out the word face, okay? Now, the musical alphabet really has 7 letters. A, B, C, D, E, and F, okay? And when you get the book, there's a whole page based on this, all right? Then the staff is divided into measures by vertical lines that are called bars, all right? A set of 2 bars marks the end of a piece of music or a strain of music, all right? Then you've got the clef sign, all right? Now you'll see on the hopefully you can see on the video on the little sheet that I'm showing, the sign is the treble or G clef, it's called, but it's called treble clef most commonly, all right? The second line of the treble clef is known as the G line, right? Because that's G, good, right? Every good boy does fine. All right. Now, let's talk about notes and time, okay? And I know we're going through this kind of quickly. Feel free to stop, but go back and forth in this video. Okay, so a note. A note's got 3 parts: a head, the stem, and the flag, all right? The notes are placed on the staff, below the staff, or above the staff. All right? Now, a note is going to bear the name or the line of the line or space it occupies on the staff. Okay? The location of a note in, above, or below the staff is going to show you what the pitch of the note is. Okay? The pitch. Okay, and pitch is just the height or depth of a tone. And a tone is a musical sound. So, this is an E. That's a low pitch. And then we have an E. That's a high pitch. We have one that's in between, right? Those tones. The tone is E. It's a low pitch. The tone is E. It's kind of a middle pitch. The tone is E. It's a high pitch. Okay? That's all it's talking about. Now, in this book, we're going to talk about 4 kinds of notes. A whole note, which is comprised of 4 beats, a quarter note, which is comprised of 1 beat, a half note, which is comprised of 2 beats, and an eighth note, which is a half a beat. All right? So, a whole note gets 4 beats. So let's start counting, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Whole note. Whole note. Gets 4 beats. Let's do a half note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Half note. Half note. Half note. Half note. Okay? So now let's do a quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter note. Quarter note. Quarter note. Quarter note. Right? Now, with an eighth note, it's a little different. I don't know if I'll be able to call them out to you. So I'll go eighth note to do the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth note, eighth note, eighth note, eighth note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So those are the 4 kind of notes we're going to start with. Hold on, folks. Now, we've also got different kinds of rests, and there's 4 rests. There's an 8th rest, which is the little line with the dot. There's a quarter rest, which is kind of the squiggly line. And it's just an 8th rest is just like an 8th note. It takes up a half a beat. The quarter rest is like a quarter note. It takes up a whole beat. A half rest sits on the line. It looks like a hat. That's the way I was taught when I was a kid. It looks like a little hat. It takes up 2 beats. And a whole rest hangs down from the line, and it takes up 4 beats. All right? So the first thing let's do is a whole rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. Rest. Nothing happens in those 4 beats. It's complete silence. All right? Let's do a half rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 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 So for those 2 beats, nothing's happening. Then we'll do a quarter rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 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 rest. All right? And then an 8th rest means we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. 8th rest, 8th rest, 8th rest, 8th rest. And maybe a better way for me to show you this is to play notes. So the first thing I'm going to show you is a whole rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do a quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, rest. 2, 3, 4. Quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, rest. 2, 3, 4. So you can see the whole rest takes up a whole measure, takes up 4 beats. A half rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter note, rest, rest. Quarter note, rest, rest. Takes up 2 beats. All right, quarter rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter note, rest. Quarter note, rest. Quarter note, rest. Quarter note, rest. So those rests took up 1 beat. And then it goes on. The 8th rest is the same type of thing. All right. All right, time signatures. Time signatures are usually 4/4, which is a 4 on top of a 4, and that's known as common time. So sometimes you'll see the treble clef sign with looks like a C, and that's just saying 4/4. Then there's 3/4 time, which means there's 3 beats in each measure, and 2/4 time, 2 beats in each measure. Okay. Now, we've covered all that. Let's get on to just the actual playing of the guitar. All right, so we're going to start this week with the notes on the E string, and this is known as the high E. The higher, remember, the higher pitch, the high E. All right, and that open, which means no fingers pressed down, is just an E. All right, now, if I take my first finger and put it on the first fret, that's an F, E, F. And if I take my third finger and put it on to the 3rd fret, it's a G, right? E, F, G. E, F, G, F, E. Okay? So, there you go this week. There's the first week. I know this was kind of a short lesson. If you want to get the book, grab that. It's got some great exercises you can go through with whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, 8th notes, all that good stuff in the section of the E string. So folks, I'll see you next week. I look forward to this every week with you. And as we move forward and we learn more, I'll add more things into these videos. Have a great week, everybody.